Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of September. I hope you are well. I'm using the, what am I using here? The Wildwood Tarot for you today. So let's get straight on. Can I have 3 cards for Leo, please? There we go. There's the first one. We have the Lovers in your recent past. These ones. I don't take cards that jump to the left, just in case you were wondering. We have the Hierophant in reverse and the Magician, which is quite interesting. So it looks to me like the theme for you at the moment, Leo, is change. You seem to be in a state of some self-initiated upheaval. And as we know, like, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. But I think that you're ready to make a lot of changes. Certainly, we see with the Lovers card, there's a lot going on. But let's have a look and see what we've got. Current energy, please. We have the Hermit, and we have the 4 of Cups. And then what is coming towards? Thank you. We have the Archer, or the Chariot, as it is in a standard deck. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups here. And I think there is an ease for you at the moment in navigating your own emotions. This is the card that's underneath it is the 4 of Wands, and in this deck they have little keywords at the bottom. Maybe you can see it there. And it looks to me like this eel in the Knight of Vessels, or the Knight of Cups, is coming straight towards this card that is called Celebration. You know, as we know, the 4 of Wands is the creation of a new foundation, right? It's about knowing what makes you really happy and building your life on that. And the fact that you have this ease of navigating through your emotions towards this 4 of Wands, it feels like breakthrough energy for you. And it's not just started. Like, this has been ongoing for a little while now, but it seems like the actual action to make all of these things happen is starting to get underway. Let's have a look at this Lovers card. Thank you. We have the 5 of Swords and the Hierophant. There. Tell me about the Hermit and 4 of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune and we have the 6 of Wands. I'm going to get one more for that because you did have 2 in your current energy. Oh, and we got 2 more. We got the 4 of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Wands. Not a surprise. And tell me about the Chariot. There's the Chariot here. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse and the Star. Now, there's a lot of major arcana. There's the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck there as well. Pisces energy. There's a lot of major arcana in this reading, and I'm not really surprised to see it, Leo, if I'm honest. We'll get into it as we go along, right? So we have the Lovers card to start. Now, as you know, like, this card can be a card of union. It can be a card of you coming together with other people. And I think that if you are in a relationship, I think that that bond has deepened quite dramatically over the last few weeks for whatever reason, you know, whether through experience or whether you've opened up to a partner or allowed a partner to open up to you. There's been something quite profound going on with your relationships. If you're not single, and you're not, if you are single rather, and you've, you know, you're not coming together with anyone, it might be a new relationship, possibly. But it feels like it's a much bigger situation than this, because the other meaning of the Lovers is a choice, right? It's a card of conscious co-creation, whereby you choose to align with an energy of manifestation. It is a manifestation card. But in order to do that, it seems to me that what you've had to do is face this. It's the 5 of Swords and the Hierophant together. That's Taurus energy there, I should just say. Lovers is Gemini. But what we've got here are some long-established assumptions that you have held that have somewhat dictated the way that you have not only experienced your life, but the direction that your life has taken up until now. And I feel like this Lovers card is doing here, and even with the Knight of Cups and the High Priestess, is having you challenge those. You know, looking at what presuppositions you've allowed to dictate the route forward for you. So whether it's, you know, well, I have to do this because I have these responsibilities and these duties and it's expected of me and I expect it of me, you know, this is how I do things. Or not all. And so what you do is only look for life experiences that sit within that particular set of parameters. You know, that the Hierophant is about what is established. I mean, it's about a lot of things, but fundamentally it comes down to tradition and what is established and what will continue unabated forever unless the status quo is challenged, right? It's always been this way and it always will be this way. But this Five of Swords says that there's a lot of beliefs that you've held that are being challenged. And as you are challenging those beliefs, you seem to be stepping into, perhaps even through, into a different way of being. It's almost like a different way of seeing the world, for sure. But it's certainly a different way of seeing yourself and what is possible for you, what it is that you can achieve. Because the future isn't written. Not yet. You know, and it's a series of little micro adjustments that we make to our life every hour of every day, where we decide that we can do something or we decide that we can't do something, or we decide that, you know, that sort of thing is for people who, you know, don't have children and don't have responsibilities. That's why they can do X, Y, and Z. It feels like your priorities are shifting around. And I don't think that they're quite settled yet in their new form. It does feel like they're slightly transitional. Because when we move into your current energy, we've got the Hermit and the Four of Cups. And this Four of Cups, its keyword at the bottom here is actually boredom. Now, if you've watched my videos for any length of time, you'll know that I actually associate this card with more of a sense of kind of malaise and rejection more than anything else. But boredom, you know, works well. And combined with the Hermit, it is, you know, what is it about your existence, Leo, that has bored the shit out of you for the longest time and you haven't even noticed? I mean, maybe you've covered it with this notion of, you know, duty and responsibility being the most important thing, and they are important. But is it a smokescreen? You know, has it been a smokescreen for things that actually scared you a little bit? You know, I remember reading years ago, you know, you should do one thing every day that scares you just a little bit. Now, sometimes that can be difficult, you know, when you're living in a quite structured life. Doesn't leave a lot of room for doing something that scares you every day. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it every month, you know, or every couple of months. Something that just reminds you that you are more than your labels. You know, you're more than a mother or a, you know, father. You're more than a partner. You're more than anything else. Like, you are you. And do you even know who you are? Well, to a degree, I mean, obviously. But are you aware of what you are capable of? You know, there's a theme here that is coming through quite strongly of pushing through your comfort zone and out the other side, even if it is just momentary. But I don't think that it is. I think that there are big changes that you are looking to make here, and part of how you're going about doing that is through, you know, this internal journeying of the Hermit here. But it's looking at what bits of your life do not feel like they are really giving to you anymore. And I'm looking at these Four Cups, and we've got water coming out of the top two, and it's pouring into these ones lower down, and these are overflowing too. And it's possible that there is much in your life to be grateful for, but everything needs a bit of a shake-up, you know? Maybe you've got to a point where you're starting to take certain things for granted. And if you are, I would entreat you to you know, go back to a time in your life where you would have done anything to have the things that are in front of you now, the things that are literally part of your existence. You know, the whole theme of the reading seems to be shaking up your relationship, not only with what you have, but then also what you could be, what you could do, what you could experience. You know, it's a really cracking open. What's the word I'm looking for? I've lost it. The plan, almost. You know, this very vague and kind of, you know, certainly not written down idea of what the rest of your life may contain. From a very practical, very straightforward, very, you know, non-daydreamy, from a realistic perspective. But the point is, with every one of these little micro adjustments that we make in our day, where we choose to do something or we choose not to do something, or we think about something or we choose not to think about something, we confront something or we choose not to, you know, all of these change the direction of our life just a little bit. And, you know, that is true forever. But the energy that you're in at the moment is one of change. And it's self-induced. And it's all coming down to this here. You know, what are you not grateful for that you should be? Or, I don't like the word should, but you know what I mean. That it would be appropriate for you to be grateful for. And if you are struck with this feeling of malaise, if things are just not quite right, then how do you take ownership of this situation and change it for yourself? You know, the Lover's card is about making big decisions. It's about, and it isn't necessarily about choosing one thing or another. It's understanding that you have the power to decide which way you are going to go on any one of a number of things that might be in your life at the moment. It's about bringing the power back to you. And the cards that clarified the Hermit and the Four of Cups are the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Wands, which is a Leo card, and then the Four of Swords in reverse with the Ace of Wands. And this feels like an explosion of energy, Leo. You know, we've got the Wheel of Fortune that suggests to me that not only have you learned what it was that you were supposed to learn from what you have been, you know, experiencing recently, you know, the kind of inner journeys that you've been going on, but that the changes that you are looking to make are well supported. You know, we've got this Leo card here of the Six of Wands that speaks about success, and it isn't just, you know, little success. It's conspicuous public success. It's the kind of things where other people can look at you and be inspired by what you have done. They're not necessarily, you know, all coming out in town with, you know, banners and placards to cheer you and stuff like that, but they look at you and they go, wow, look what they've done. Maybe I could do something like that. You know, it's inspiring people with your bravery and your action at this point, Leo. We've got the Four of Swords in reverse, which is wonderful, because where this is, it's a kind of self-induced stasis, I think. I mean, sometimes it can be taking a break, taking a step back. It's certainly the act of processing and meditating on something. It's showing up in the reverse. It feels like you have done plenty of that now, and it is time for action. You know, there might be still a couple of things to work through with the Hermit and the Four of Cups, but the emphasis now is going from internal exploration and thinking and musing and maybe a little bit of, you know, objective reflection to what am I going to do about it? How am I going to change it? How am I going to manifest something very, very new for myself? And what we've got coming towards you here in September is the Chariot, or the Archer, rather, as it is known in this deck. But the depiction might be different, but the underlying theme is the same. You know, in the Chariot, we have the balance, you know, between the two sphinxes, as it usually is, right? That have to be held in alignment in order for you to go forwards in your chariot. And you're the one who's controlling this, right? In the Archer, we have that same notion of balance needing to be present in whatever you are doing. But what we've got is everything coming to a point where it's kind of ready for release. It's ready to go. That's what I'm seeing here in this card. No, I don't know if the camera's going to focus on it, possibly. There we go. Yeah. She's got the arrow pulled and it's right back, and she's getting ready to let it fly. Now, if she's done all of the appropriate groundwork, if you will, all of the preparatory stuff, then she's got a good bow that she knows fires straight. She's got straight arrows, none of them are bent. She's checked them all out, make sure that all of the fletching is right at the back, you know. And she's actually aiming for something. Now, with everything being as it is, there's no reason why that won't hit the target. There might be a freak gust of wind or something like that. There might be a random bear that just suddenly runs in front of the target that she wasn't expecting. That's possible. But everything about her stance says she's ready for this. And so whatever you have been musing on and the plan that you've been putting together, and I think there is the formulation of a plan starting to occur here for you, Leo. September, it feels to me, is the month where you realise that everything that can be controlled and paid attention to and prepared for is actually done. And all that's left is for you to release the arrow, is to let it fly. And there feels to me like there is an aspect of the heart in the mouth about this. It's like, you've done what you can do. Now, the Five of Cups is clarifying that in the reverse, which is wonderful, because it seems like you're getting everything right. You're thinking about things in the right way. You are focusing on the right things. And this is a card of focusing on the wrong things almost. Well, no, it can be a card of very reasonable grief and sense of loss. But the character in this card is focusing on the 3 cups that have fallen over, not on the 2 that remain. Now, in order to go anywhere and do anything, he's going to have to raise his head, he's going to have to turn around, he's going to have to notice, frankly, that there are 2 cups behind him. And he's going to have to pick those up and move forwards with those. I mean, we've got a bridge in the background and we've got this building which indicate a place of safety there. With it in the reverse, it feels like it's time to take the leap. I mean, we don't have the Fool card here, but I don't feel like you're taking a leap into the unknown. You know, the archer knows where the target is. Conversely, well, not conversely, correspondingly, you know, a chariot is going to know which direction it wants to go in, because if it doesn't and the Sphinx is going in opposite directions, then nothing is going to happen. No progress is going to be able to be made. You know what's important. You know what you're aiming for. And now it's just time to let the arrow fly. You know, the last card that you've got is the Star. And there are a few different ways of looking at this, but it seems clear that the Star is the target. And we can talk about other themes like healing and, you know, restoration, vulnerability. And there is an element of vulnerability in what you're doing, because for the briefest moment, Leo, this is going to expose you, you know. But I feel like it's an exposure in so much as being seen. And for some of you, that's a problem. But it feels like it's all very authentic. It's coming from a really good place with you. And so you shouldn't be afraid of being seen, whether, you know, being seen for who you are or being seen in a state of vulnerability, being seen doing something that has the possibility of failing. Because it wouldn't be a big deal if there wasn't a possibility of failure somewhere here. But I see in September you doing it anyway. And I'm always saying, what's that? I think aim for the stars and you might hit the moon along the way. You know, if you don't aim anywhere, if you don't even have something to aim, it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to stay in this state. You're going to stay in a in a comfort zone that it seems to me that you have outgrown, Leo. And now it's time to start pushing at the boundaries. And all the groundwork has been done. All the preparatory stuff has been done. You are now focusing on the right things. You are now going the right way. All that's left for you is to release the arrow. I think this is wonderful. Right. If this has resonated with you at all, I'm going over to Vimeo now to do an extended. So we're going to look into September more specifically and see what's going on, what you need to be aware of. If you would like to join me over there, the link is in the description box. You could alternatively come and join my community. The Patreon link is in the description box, although that might be changing very soon. Just bear with me, we'll see what goes with that. But if not, not to worry, you're in a really powerful position at the moment, Leo, it seems to me, because you challenged these understandings of paradigms that don't really exist anymore, apart from where you are perpetuating them. That's what we're seeing over here. And the winds of change are here. They're supporting everything that you're doing. So if it's time to change something, then it really is time to change something. And you just need to have a little bit of trust and possibly a little bit of faith that what feels right to you to do at this point is the right thing to do. Bit of faith in yourself, Leo. That's all you need. Right, I'm going to go. Know that I love you all very, very much. And I'll see you soon.